I'll call the regular meeting of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners for Tuesday, November 26, 2013. Good morning, everyone. My name is Langdon Neal. Seated to my right is Commissioner Richard Cowan, and to my left is Commissioner Marisol Hernandez. First thing on the agenda is consideration of the agenda itself. Any additions, deletions? Hearing none, we'll move to item 2, which is approval of the minutes for November 12th, 2013.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cowan. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order. Executive Director's Report, Mr. Goff.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to let you know that we finished emailing, we're almost finished emailing and mailing out all the notices to the FPCA request that we have for absentee voting or military and overseas, and I think that's going very well. The canvas, Mr. Allen, we have completed the canvas.
We've completed the second mailing, the smaller mailing, so we completed the first mailing about a month ago. The second mailing and the follow-up went out last Thursday. That was about 100,000 pieces of return mail or items that we had identified where people had moved. So, and that's in addition to another 50,000 or so where we had found moves within the city. So we've automatically updated those registrations and sent those voters information indicating that they're now registered at a new address.
We are getting busy. We have requests for this week to stay open till 9 o'clock at night from outside groups that are checking petitions. We will be closed on Thursday for Thanksgiving. We did not get a request, but we'll be open from 9 to 5 during the week, and on Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 7 on Saturday and 9 to 5 on Sunday.
So this
Yeah,
was
this-
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
You'll be
Saturday
open
and
till
Sunday.
7 on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. We've gotten a lot of requests for check boxes. The lower level we used for checking, for David Orr to accept petitions. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna set up additional terminals downstairs in the lower level. But first, we're gonna put terminals up here. So we're waiting for the board meeting to end here. We're gonna set up 14 terminals in this room. So we're gonna try to do everything we can on 6 and 8 before we go down to the lower level. The reason why that I have to have employees to supervise and to split my staff amongst 3 floors is gonna be difficult. So I just wanted you to be aware. But it is election time, as you can see.
Yeah. Okay, anything for the Executive Director and the Board? Okay, we'll move. Ms. Bateman is not here today, correct? And Mr. Allen, anything else for you for your report?
Just updates. We're keeping up with the work on the website, and also we've got the event coming up a week from today at the Parthenon, sponsored by the McCormick Foundation with several other groups. We have approximately 60 teachers from 60 high schools who will be there that evening. So a very good start to the effort to register 17-year-olds ahead of the primary.
Excellent. Is there anywhere in any other state that has a piece of legislation like this?
I believe Minneapolis, I'll have to double check it, I believe Minneapolis allows 17-year-olds to vote in municipal elections. I'll have to double check that, but I'm not aware of many other jurisdictions that have anything like this.
So you'll let me know whether I can say that Illinois is the first state to allow 17-year-olds to vote in statewide
Yes,
elections.
I will let you know.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Mr. Allen? Okay, we'll move to old business, infrastructure projects.
Not at this
We
point.
don't have anything at this time. Voting equipment,
No.
now's not the time to talk about that. All right, legislation?
Nothing, Mr.
Nothing,
Chairman.
okay. We'll move on to new business. We have the schedule for the 2014 meetings for your information.
Motion to
I
approve?
guess we need to approve it, yes. Okay, moved by Commissioner Hernandez,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Cowan. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah?
was there a conflict, Marion, on one of those dates?
Yes, well, there was, I spoke to Mr. Goff this morning.
I wanted to keep that November 11th. If we can, we can always adjust that.
Okay, all right.
It's also on the,
So,
Yeah. We may be working on that day, so.
We have a lot of other issues before we get to November 2014, for
Exactly.
sure. Okay, we'll worry about that. So I don't like to put off for tomorrow, which we can worry about today, but that may apply here. Okay. Electoral Board Rules and Procedures, Mr. Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I circulated to the commissioners a draft of proposed rules of procedure for the Electoral Board. I also then circulated some comments that Jeff Federici had given to me yesterday. And this is just for comment at this point in time. Of course, the board, when it meets as an electoral board for the first time, it will adopt the rules. We anticipate that that meeting will occur on December 16th. But in the meantime, I wanted to circulate these for any comments. You can give them to me now if you have them, or you can give them to me individually, as long as we have everything in place before the December 16th hearing. The major change that these drafts include are some provisions that reflect Supreme Court Rule 138 with regard to private or personal identity information. There is a new Supreme Court rule that requires any party that files a document with the court redact out any personal identity information such as social security numbers, driver's license numbers, credit card information, financial information. So these rules are intended to reflect that and to incorporate that within the board's rules. There are also a couple of other minor changes, as Mr. Federici suggested yesterday, with regard to defining when a records examination is completed, so that the parties will know with a little bit more clarity when certain deadlines will commence. And then it also extends the working hours for the Electoral Board from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, which we've always been open that late anyway, but this formalizes that change. So those are the changes that we have now. If the commissioners have any additional comments or suggestions they want to make, please get those to me.
Well, I think in terms of these new Supreme Court Rule 138 changes, that could catch some of the candidates or the objectors by surprise at the Electoral Board hearings, because if the question is residency, and that comes up very frequently, somebody's always asking for a driver's license and other information that would have personal identifiers. So how do we advise people, or are you having some special instruction to the hearing officers? And in fairness, should we have some notice to all of the parties of this new rule so that they don't inadvertently violate that rule?
Well, we'll certainly include that with the training that we give our hearing officers. But we'll also, at the time of adoption, we'll have, we'll try to do a little short synopsis of any changes from previous versions of the rules, and this certainly would be one of those. We would like to highlight that information. Really, in the past, we've encouraged the parties informally. It's not been built in the rules, but we encourage the parties to redact out any information, even as subpoenas. As part of a subpoena request, we have a notice on that subpoena to please redact out any personal information, social security numbers, driver's license numbers. So this is not really anything new in the sense of our practice, but it is new in the sense of incorporating within the rules. But we'll do, we'll try to get the word out as much as we can so that no one will be caught by surprise.
All right. We'll move on to item C, continuing your report, Mr. Scanlon, on the bid for printing of ballots.
Well, Mr. Goff made a recommendation to the board to accept the proposal to award a contract to Lake County Press for the printing of ballots, test ballots, specimen ballots, provisional ballots, et cetera, for the 2014-2015 elections. This would include the printing, the wrapping, and delivery of those ballots, and the price estimates are contained within the proposal. I think Mr. Goff, if I'm not mistaken, also
It's attached.
attached those to his recommendation, so you can see that on the second page, or that's on the first page following his November 21st memorandum. The total cost for the March 2014 election would be $496,622. Total cost for the November 2014 election would be $452,705. And the cost for the 2015 election would be $417,688. And then they would be reduced significantly for any runoff elections, should we have any runoff elections, in April of 2015. I've drafted and circulated a draft of a contract with all the appendices attached. There was one change that I circulated yesterday, removing a section 304 that had provided for the an extension at the option of the board to extend the contract for an additional 12 months. That has been removed. So at this point in time, I would recommend that Commissioner Collins.
Let me just comment on the question of removal. When I communicated with Jim on the contract, I asked if there were any options, because I was concerned in previous years there was an option that extended it for a couple of years, and I had questions as to how that squares with competitive bidding. In this instance, the option would have been exercisable by the board, but would have covered 2016. I had the same concern as to how this squares with competitive bidding. If in effect we have a contract that locks in a particular vendor for the three largest elections that we have, 2014, 15, and 16. So it was my suggestion to delete the option with regard to 2016. None of this is a reflection on Lake County. Their services have been excellent. As I understand it from Lance and the others, they've worked very, very well with staff, been very responsive. But I was just concerned that three years without another bid is longer than I think we should go.
I concur.
So with that, I'll move the award of the bid to Lake County Press for the years 2014, 2015 at the prices stated.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. I'll also point out that at this point they have made a MBE-WBE commitment as part of their bid. We'll monitor that to ensure compliance. But I think that's a major improvement to this cycle's bidding process. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That'll be the order. Okay, last item, I think that's you, Mr. Goff, right, on contract with Paul Drugan.
Just, we had a contract once before with Colin, I forgot his name, who was overseeing the polling place administrator project. He could no longer come back. Paul Drugan is somebody I've known for many years. He used to work for the county clerk's office. He went for the, worked in Washington, D.C., and he worked out in LA. He's come back to Chicago. He's looking for something. If I had an opening for him, I'd hire him instantly. But we do need somebody to monitor and to take care of this polling place administrator program. He came, he has the qualifications. After meeting with Kelly Bateman, we think it's a perfect fit for this office. And I really would like to encourage the board to approve this contract.
I'll move approval of the contract as presented for fall approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order. Legal status report, Mr. Goff. Mr. Scanlon, sorry.
Oh, well, I have nothing.
And just introduce your associate attorney.
Yeah.
If Mr. Goff has nothing to report, I have nothing to report.
Okay. All righty. That's good news. We'll then move on to the financial report. We have two financial reports to approve. One for the city of Chicago, that's voucher listing 13-08 in the amount of $345,181.21. $345,181.21.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cowan. Further discussion, hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that'll be the order. The second report is approval of vouchers for the County of Cook, totaling $53,299.48. $53,299.48.
Motion.
Approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none. All's in favor?
Aye.
That'll be approved. At this time, we'll, yes, go ahead,
Excuse me,
Mr.
Mr.
Goff.
Chairman, before we go into public comment, I'd just like the board members to know that I spoke to Gary yesterday. He has his artificial heart implanted. He's doing well. He called, he wanted to talk to me, so we were talking, and he said, I had my favorite meal. And I said, what, they give you vanilla ice cream? He says, how the hell did you know? And I said, because we know that you love vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
So he was able to eat a little something. They got him out of the bed and had him walk. He's gone through a really invasive operation. He was in Friday. They moved him to pre-op at 11. They didn't get started until 2:30. They didn't wheel him out of the operating room until 8:57. And Terry, his wife, is a nurse who I've known Gary and Terry for a long time. She said that to see her husband in that shape with all these tubes coming out of him, she said it was a little too much. I told her that I would inform all the board members that he's doing well, and I've been calling different friends of mine, letting them know that he's doing very well. So he says he's up. He said he can't have any visitors for another 5 days. He'll be able to have people coming in next week, but he's doing well, and he wanted everybody to know that he will be back.
Well, that's great. We'll tell him he's got to get back for March. So,
Trust me, he's got his laptop in ICU, and they told him he couldn't have it, so he was having a fit, so the doctor said, give him his laptop, will you?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's great. Please.
Which hospital is he at?
Christ.
Great. Well, tell him that we all asked about him, and our thoughts and prayers are with him, and we're looking forward to seeing him in March.
He said he will be back.
Okay, that's great, great. Because I don't want to have to sit in his chair like I said. Okay.
He said he's like to be a bionic man, but he'll be back.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, then, this time I'll open it up for public comment. Does anyone have anything to say to us today? You don't have to. Not that I discourage it, but this is your time to make any public comment. Okay. Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to recess till our next regular scheduled meeting, which is December... No, it's before that.
December
Okay.
10th.
December 10th. Back at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay.
Chairman, there may be a need for an emergency meeting. I'm not sure yet, but we're working on that, just to let
Okay.
you know.
All right.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, aye. We stand
Aye.
adjourned. Thank you.